Let's discuss basic economics. I call it basic. There is inflation in Nigeria. The price of commodity is very high. Some 200% increase, some 300% increase. And orthodox economics demand that for you to reduce inflation in a country, you have to reduce the purchasing power of the citizen. You must look for a way to make sure that there is no much money in circulation, so that people will have limited money to pursue larger commodities. And it is believed that when the commodity is surplus and the demand is less, the price will come down. That's orthodox economics. And there are several ways that the government or IMF always advise governments, such as increase in interest rate. They believe that when the interest rate increase, the people who borrowed money will pay most of the profit back to the bank, and through that we can reduce the money in circulation. And they equally make use of some money market instrument to wipe out money from circulation in order to reduce inflation. But you see, I have a problem with those ideas. Why? What is the problem? They are all orthodox. Yes. You see, economics is a social science and should not be applied generally. I know that in management they say the principle of management is universal, but I don't believe that. I believe that everything is peculiar to the society and the environment. So for Nigeria, how do we solve the problem of inflation that we have? Supposing that Afrocentric is in government today in Nigeria, and this thing is happening and we just take over, how can we solve the problem of inflation in Nigeria and reduce the price of commodity? One, we have to look at the causes of the inflation. What are the causes of inflation? We all know that before the advent of Tinubu as the president and commander-in-chief of the armed force of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the prices of commodity was not as high as this. It was immediately that fuel subsidy was removed that everything went up. So we can actually say that one of the causes of this inflation is the high cost of energy, especially petroleum products. Now, the second thing that causes inflation is the exchange rate. Yes, because most of the things that we use in this country, we import them. And when the exchange rate went high, we need more naira to pursue small amount of dollars. And because of that, the price of goods, which are mostly imported, become automatically high. So when you understand those two principles, those are the major cause of inflation in Nigeria, what do? Let's start with the first one. Cost of petroleum products. We have crude oil in this country, so that should not have been a problem. So how do we solve this problem? There are so many illegal refineries in Nigeria. They call them illegal because they have not been licensed and they destroy the environment by production method that is very crude. Now, these people do not have money to build a modular refinery, which require at least $1 million to put in place. They don't have such money to build. But if I was the government, if Afrocentric was the government, we will organize these people into cooperative. Bring 10, 20 of them together, pull their resources together and build a very small refinery. Even if it's a refinery that can produce 10 tangas a day, we'll build that. By the time you start, you will know that other people will venture into this business. They will build a refinery that is very friendly. They will do it. If you bring 20 of them together as a form of cooperative, float a company, guide them as a government, they will build this refinery that will be environmentally friendly, and they can produce very tiny quantity of petroleum or fuel in this country. And the fuel, the crude, will be sold to them at a very low amount while we import the rest. And we must make sure that we control their production, that the crude that goes to them is being used to produce fuel, which will be sold in this country only. The government will be involved in their sales and their production process. And you discover that by the time you implement this, there will be so many persons that want to invest into such business, and we will have several refineries refining petroleum products in Nigeria, and the price of fuel will automatically come down, and the price of commodities will follow suit, and that problem is solved. Now, the second one is the exchange rate. How do we handle this problem? You see, most of the things in this country are being produced outside. Because of what? Because of lack of power. That's why I say energy is our problem. Now, for us to solve this problem of exchange rate, we'll solve the problem of power first. We'll allow private citizens to produce power. Power can be produced. You can produce power in a very small river in your locality. A dam can be built in a very small river. What government do is to look at the environmental impact, do carry out environmental assessment for the individual, and they will build it. Allow people to produce power at a cheaper rate, and government should also produce power at a cheaper rate to the people. Now, when power is produced at a cheaper rate, electric power I'm talking about, people will start to produce. And when people start to produce, the job of an Afrocentric government will be to protect those people that are producing against foreign competitors. And if you are producing locally, automatically, as time goes on, we'll have enough to export. And when we have enough to export, dollars, the value of dollars to naira will automatically drop. And when it drops, inflation in Nigeria will drop. So automatically, we have solved inflation by adopting those two principles, not the orthodox economics. We are Afrocentric, and we hope to apply these ideas in the near future. My name is Ubong Alfred. Thank you very much.